Hey guys, so with today on the stock market, it was pretty good. So, last Friday it was Good Friday, so the market was closed, but it was quite a few stocks that were up quite a bit pre-market. And the one that I was looking in at, focused on, was MGLO, MicroAlgo Inc. Now, this is a stock that I've made decent gains from in the past. It's a stock that I've missed out from when I had potential to make gains, and then it was focused on another stock and it didn't do too well at. So this stock has a history of performing rather well. It's definitely a day trader stock, if you will. And it was a really good day. Overall, it closed $11.86. This is, you're talking about a 75% gain overall. The market high was $16.50, so that's pretty good. 77 million with the volume trade of the trading, which you can get under over 100 million. Some days there's even ones that about a billion. So 77 is still high, but it's not the highest though. But it was still pretty good overall. But with MLGO, this was 20 minutes before market opens, so it was about 31%. It was up, and it was only about 7 million volume. But it just felt like it was one of those ones that always is going to kind of like gradually go up and up during the day when the market's opened. And right off the bat, so with my first trade, so it was about a minute within the market opening, and I bought at $9.39, and then I ended up, because what happened around 9:38, the market was upward. There was upward, and then there was the halt. So it halted for 5 minutes, and then it went back up. I think it was that point. It was like $10.58. I held because I was thinking this is going to go up a bit, and it didn't quite go up. But then I ended up selling at $10.43. So I got a nice little gain there. It was pretty good. And overall, yeah, just throughout the day, I did get a few more trades in, just some quick scalps at 9.54, bought at $9.75, and then I sold 2 minutes later at $10.22. So it was a quite nice, a nice wee scalp there. Then at 10.33, I bought at $11.31. So where are we at? So about that, yeah. I think there must have been another upward trend around this point, was there? There was another halt, was there? I can't even remember. It's been a long day. um, and I Yes, I bought $11.31, and then 2 minutes later, I sold it at $11.66. So it was another quick scalp. Nothing huge, but still a nice gain. Being in the green's better than nothing. So I had overall a few profits. It was just one of those stocks I was unsure, because at the start of the day, I'm thinking, do I just ride the wave? Do I just buy this early and just hold and not look, and then wait till the end of the day and it's gone up? You can do that, but you just never know these stocks, because MLGO is one of those stocks that you never know. MLGO could be a stock that goes up, and it's up around 40%, 20 minutes into market open, and then boom. The big investors dump the stock, and it could be potentially going to break even, or you could be in the red. You just never know with this stock. There's just this unpredictability there, very volatile, but it still is good though for a day trader. Get good volatility there, good volume, and you can make yourself some pretty good gains. And for me to get five trades overall in the green, that was pretty good. Unfortunately, though, I had one in the red, but I will get to that in a minute. But it was just one of those stocks. You just see it was gradually going up, and then you get to that point. So this was about 11:21. Then you get into 11:30, and then it kind of just didn't do anything. It kind of stayed around the same, and this was for about an hour or so. And then when you're getting into that period where it's halfway through the market, you usually you'll find that that's when it goes up a bit higher. So you see there, so you're talking 12:45 is when that's your halfway through the market day, and at that point there, it's peak. So it's $13.37 around 12:49 p.m. But before that, just about you're talking like 25 minutes prior, it was around 1166, and it wasn't really doing much for that from that period. So, it's one of those, it's always just timing, finding the right time to do the trades. And, because I was holding from about, I think I was holding from about, Christ, I might have been around like 11 a.m. on one trade, and then I got out about 12:40. So it was a fairly kind of small gain, nothing to write home about exactly, but it was still got a profit. A profit's a profit with these stocks. But it was just one of those stocks. I just felt this was the one. This would work, and but you just never know. It was unpredictable. There was some stocks can just gradually just keep going up and up and up throughout the day. There was motorsport games Thursday. I made a decent profit with that. Motorsport games, I could have even made a bigger profit. I could have made like a 40%, 50% gain on. It was crazy with that one, how it was so like one of those low float stocks, low in volume, and then just more and more people buying, and it didn't really wasn't even up by that much, but I could just tell when it was up around 29 to 30% each. It was just one of those I had a feeling, and this was around maybe 11:30 approaching noontime in the with the market. But MLGO, I just felt it, and the volume was good. It's not the highest, but it was still just one of those that you could have made some pretty good gains on, and I did not too bad. The one where I mucked up, it was around. I just thought it would be one of those ones that was going down and down and down. That I thought maybe about 15 minutes before the market close, I thought there maybe just be a quick, it's going down. I just thought like, I'll pop up quickly and maybe just take a nice little profit. It didn't quite work out that way for me with that. On the last trade, I bought at $12.85, and then I sold at $12 too. So it was like 12.85. So I'm talking, when was that? It was around this point here. I think yeah, it was like, and then I ended up having to sell 5 minutes before market close. It was just unpredictable, I ended up at 11.86 or 12.02 to get out. It was just a bad trade at the end of the day, and I think admittedly I just got a bit greedy on that trade. But overall, to get five trades in the green, it's pretty tough. It's not the easiest job in the world, day trading. But to get five trades in the green, but then you still always have to watch how you can end up in the red. I've had crazy days where, I had two losing trades and being down £400, and then I was able to climb back up and end the day when I had four more trades, placed four more trades, and I got in the green for 150. So it's just swings and roundabouts when you're day trading. But MLGO is one that I would say, it's up a little bit now post market, but I don't think it's really going to be doing much. I don't think much will be happening in MLGO tomorrow. Yeah, it's maybe one you can make a quick, easy scalp on. You could make like a 5%, 6% gain on. So you could check it out for tomorrow. But I would say probably I wouldn't be surprised. Wait until maybe Thursday or Friday, and this pops up again. There might be use on it, there might not be, but you can maybe see something happen with the stock. I could see it, but it was just one of these ones. And again, the charts. After a while, if you've been trading the market, you just kind of have an idea where it's going to go based on the charts. With the lines, you just have an idea. And this is one of those ones I should have kind of known, because I was kind of like having my eye in on it, even though after I'd said to myself, I'm not going to trade it. But at this point, when it's 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 230, it's just went up. That's the highest it was going to go at that point. But when if people were trading motorsports games last Thursday, you could have seen that, like, even at that point, it was still not done with the highs, the market highs on that stock. It was still even going to go up further. You just kind of have that. You have that instinct, that intuition there when you've been doing it for a while. But I got a little greedy with MLGO, but overall, though, I did well overall to time it pretty well with the profits I did with buying it at the right time. And but I could have held it longer though, and it made a big gain. But it is what it is though. But some profits are certainly better than no profits, that's for sure. But this is a stock market video. I haven't done one in a while. But feel free, guys, to leave a comment, check in, let me know. Give me your take. Let me know what your thoughts are on MicroAlgo Inc. I mean, I think it is a potential to be a really good stock, even though people might think, oh, it's a little bit too high when you're getting into like the $11, $12 territory. People much probably prefer when these stocks are $1, $2, $3, $4 at a push. But there's still potential there to make quite a decent gain. You could be getting in around 7 to 12% gain on that, and I would take that. Decent enough. You know what I mean? But feel free to give me your take, guys. Let me know. Leave a comment if you made money on it. And I think I'm going to be a bit more consistent doing these trading videos. But I just thought I'd check in and doing this one on looking at MicroAlgo Inc. So overall, it was 5 trades I made and 5 winning trades. Sorry. 6 trades overall, 5 winning trades, and 1 losing trade. So hopefully I'll just be back tomorrow though, and I'll just take what the market gives me and just stay savvy. But that's me for now, guys. Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye.